Prepare for a fusion of knowledge and exhilaration where education and excitement collide.
Taking you on an adventure that expands your mind and speaks to your spirit.
I'm Master Nick.
I'm Lady Dee.
We are the Dom Life.
This podcast contains sexually explicit topics and adult content.
It is intended for listeners 18 and older.
The opinions expressed in this podcast are ours alone, based on our personal thoughts, feelings, and experiences.
We understand that others may have different opinions and experiences, and we respect that. We would love to hear from you. You can reach out to us at www.thedomlife.com. And then I do got to talk about one more performance, just for the what the fuck moment
Okay.
that everybody had for this.
I did not see this one.
You did not see this one. This was the last performance of the night.
Okay.
And
oh, yeah, I was.
holy
Sure.
fuck. Everybody in the crowd was cringing and saying, oh, it was. All right. So Eve Riot, who done the introductions to everybody's performances.
MC. They were doing that. They were the MC for the whole.
That's the name I'm looking for. The MC was Eve Riot. When they got ready, they was the last performance. So they had Sir Dance-A-Lot to come out and do the introduction.
Okay.
So Eve Riot came out, started doing the little dance, the little burlesque, doing all this, but you could tell they was building up to something.
Okay.
And they stepped over to the side and they pulled up this big basket and just walked around stage with it. Everybody was wondering what the hell's in here. They dumped out, I don't know how many pieces of Legos.
Oh, no.
On this blanket that was on the stage. But that wasn't enough.
Okay.
What'd they do next? They walked over and they grabbed another damn bucket of even more fucking Legos. And then they started very lightly. They walked across the Legos.
Oh, no.
And everybody was like, oh, what the fuck? What the fuck?
I have a child. Legos.
Yeah,
Ugh.
Legos suck. Well, no, that wasn't enough. So then they walked out there and they jumped and stomped.
No way.
On the Legos. And that still wasn't enough.
And I'm sure everybody in the audience
everybody's
had to
going
be...
fucking nuts because I'm back here just hurting. I see everybody's cringing and bending over and doubling over. And then they just jump up and fall straight backwards onto this massive pile of Legos.
It's a stage. Like it's a
hard stage.
Stage. We did the Rope 101 there.
Yeah.
Okay.
They done the worm on these Legos. They freaking just went nuts.
Eve Riot, you're nuts.
Yes. And holy fuck, it was so entertaining to watch them while doing this. But also, holy fuck, it hurt like hell to watch them do this. And then immediately after, so that was it. One of the staff members came by. And I guess I had this look of the what the fuck moment on my face. And they was like, what did you think of that? And my only response was, I need Eve Riot here right now. I want to talk to them about that fucking performance. And they was like, okay, let's go see. I'll go see if we can find them. They came back later and was like, no, we're sorry. They couldn't be here. But Eve Riot did see me at the very end of the night, after I was packing everything up. Eve Riot did mention they are interested in coming on the podcast. Ooh. They would like to be here. So I will be reaching out to them, seeing if I can get something scheduled. I want to discuss that performance. I want to know what kind of mindset you got to have going into a performance of planning this many fucking Legos.
We know that there's a little bit of masochist in that.
There has to be.
In them, because.
But I want to find out.
I know, but because first of all, you have to plan it. You have to agree in your head that you're going to do this.
Yeah.
I wonder how much practicing I would do. I wouldn't do any. I'd be like, on stage, that's it.
Man.
Because we do know that adrenaline can
it
stop,
helps.
like the whole form of performance and the adrenaline can stop, or like I've taken a lot more quickly during performances because you're all hopped. Is that what it was? Eve Riot. Is that what it was? We want to know. Good thing you want to come on this podcast.
Yeah, I will have to get them on here. I have to get them scheduled. There's so much more I want to talk to them about, but
there were a couple of people that we spoke to there. Most of the individuals during our, as a vendor, we had 2 different products, as well as the products, and both of them are, kind of designed and created by you. The Brat Strap and the Thuddy Buddy. So we had that, but we had our podcast equipment set up.
Yep.
And because it was loud, when we do play these audio, when we do air the audio, you're also going to hear the music in the background and the stuff.
The audience cheering, yes.
I mean, you're going to be able to drown some of that out, but during the talking to somebody, it was so much easier when we had the microphones because you could
I could keep turning their volume up to make
so that
sure
we could hear what they were talking about.
Yeah.
And there were a couple of people who are like, after hearing themselves, after interacting with us, they're like, we want to come on the podcast because it just flows. They're like, I wasn't sure how this was going to go, but talking to you guys is pretty easy.
Yeah. I mean, everybody seemed to enjoy it. Some had more to say than others, and some was very nervous at first when they walked up and were like, I don't know what to say. We'll just go with the flow. And then you could find halfway through it where they kind of just like seen the relief leave their body, and then they was themselves and was just talking freely and openly. And it was great for those people, the ones that you could tell were nervous, but then the nervousness going away. Again, I really enjoyed talking to the ones that did stop. Some were freaking phenomenal. Some had negative things to say.
Generally
negative things to say, and everybody's entitled to their opinion and to their thoughts. However, I hope they do take our advice.
Right.
And check out some of the events that are local and find ways of finding them to find their community. Because that is important. It would be hard to do some of this stuff, to go to these events and to do these things alone.
Right.
So, by finding L&K, and finding their events and participating and, interacting. You can't go to these events and stand against the wall and not talk to nobody.
Right. If you did that, then you're going to be in the same place you were before you arrived at the event. You
have to open yourself up a little bit. And it's not that hard to do. I know for some people it is very hard to open up, but just by going up to someone and saying, I really like your shoes. I really like your hair. Love your outfit. Something small, something simple like that opens the door for them to start talking to you. I've seen it happen numerous times.
If Master Nick and I are together, please make sure you give him a compliment.
I never get compliments. So they go on and on about your tattoos.
My hair, my
tattoos. Your tattoos. I've got tattoos, and I frost my hair. For those of you that don't know, I go every week and I get my hair frosted to have this salt pepper look about me. So a lot of time, a lot of money goes into this salt and pepper persona that I want to put off by getting my hair frosted.
I will say that we will not vendor at events like that in the future. And here's the reason why. I mean, not that we won't ever, but the reason why is because we missed out on a lot of different things. Do you know what carnival games were there?
Not a clue.
Last year, we could have told you all of the games that were there.
Yeah.
This year, we have no idea.
Yeah. We were set up as vendors, and we did not get to venture out much.
And I mean, regardless of the fact that it was dark and loud, we couldn't do as much either. And that really sucks when we're trying to give you guys breakdowns of an event. So same thing, day 2. Let's go to day 2. I get to quit talking other than.
Yeah. Well, day 2 started off quite early for me. You had to buy the tickets separately hold on. Before we talk about what I did, there was classes Day
That's
two.
what we were going to talk about.
Yep.
So day two, they, just like last year, they want education to be a part of their
Yes.
events. That's, and they had some really cool classes.
Oh, yes.
We
There was
wanted to
classes
go,
we wanted to do.
and there were some that were overlapping. Like there were two at the same period that we wanted to go to, and you'd have to choose. So we started looking at that, and then my accident happened. And we knew at that point that you set everything aside. You're dealing with healing health. We don't even know if we're going to Kinktasia. We get to the point where we're like looking at it, and basically all the classes were sold out. They have limited space available. It was at a different venue, and because they had time slots, and so I definitely am not healed well enough, and he would have gone to some, but at the point we even looked, they were the majority of them were sold.
Full. Most of them were sold out.
Full events. So we did not do any of the classes.
Now, I did get a chance to talk to a couple that we've met several times out at events and stuff. They did go to classes. I don't know what classes they went to, but in passing, it was, hey, how did you all enjoy the classes? They absolutely loved the classes they attended. Again, I don't know what classes they took. I don't know if they took the same ones or if there was two separate ones they went to, but they did have really good things to say about the class. They enjoyed it. It was educational. They feel that they got out of it what they was looking to get out of it. So again, there was success to the classes, but without actually attending ourselves,
we can't do any breakdown. Plus, when we do classes, it's another situation where we talk to the individuals that run it, whether we can say their names, not say their names, whether we're talking in general. But there was one that really interested me because it was something I hadn't seen before, and it was hypnotism as a part of kink.
Yes. And now that one was going to be via like satellite, via Zoom call or something. Yes.
Right. Like I really found it an interesting concept.
Yes.
And had life gone a little bit different, that's probably one of the classes we would have attended.
Oh, yeah, that would have definitely been one because, I'd love to be able to hypnotize your ass.
No, I actually, one of my companies back in the day did bring somebody on who was a hypnotist.
Right.
I can be hypnotized. So in case you were wondering, I can be. Now that event, I wasn't there, but I did it. I did it for quitting smoking at one point.
Right.
Then when I finally quit smoking, however many years ago, hypnotism was a part of it, and I can be hypnotized.
All right. Well, I want to start some more researching.
Some interesting
topics
here on.
Yep. So classes for Saturday. Again, we did not attend. Sounds like it went over good. Didn't really get a lot of feedback from very many other people. So don't know how the classes went. However, for the play party Saturday, went well, I think. I enjoyed it. Got there a lot earlier than what I was actually supposed to. There was a little confusion on their tickets. Apparently, only about 4 of us got there that early. Everybody else apparently knew that the time listed on the tickets were for Friday and not Saturday. But anyway, we killed time at a local restaurant there in Louisville. Had a drink or two, had some appetizers, had a really great meal. Did a little walk around downtown Louisville.
I wasn't there.
Yeah. And then,
I didn't get to eat good food. I mean, you see,
food.
And he didn't bring me any home.
Yep. No, couldn't keep up with it. Couldn't keep up with it. But so we did get back at the time for them to open. And it was in a space. I do believe this is the first time they've ever used this space.
It was a community center, and I understood that there were some opportunities for volunteer work. So as a community, you want to volunteer in neighborhoods and at various locations.
Right.
And this provided an opportunity for that in that they were getting it ready for an event.
Yep.
So painting, cleaning, organizing, helping out at the community center was a prior to the event occurring.
All right. So yeah, we get there, we get our tickets, and we get in the door. Now I am going to say again, this was the first year that they had a play party for Kinktasia. So automatically, boom, better than last year's, 100% by far. And again, while talking about the play party, this is my opinion from what I've seen and from what I have heard from people that did attend that was there. So you enter through the door, you do your check-in. They had 2 wristbands, a red and a green. And it was, if you are open to play with others, you got a green wristband. If you're not open to play with others, you get a red wristband. So
what color did you have, Master Nick?
I chose red. We had already prearranged a scene with one of our friends. This was going to be a first scene that I've ever done with her. So I was pretty excited for that and nervous all at the same time. We'll get into that here a little bit later. But honestly, I wasn't interested in playing with anybody else. I like to take the opportunities to watch.
Yes, when we go to events.
Normally, when we go somewheres, I am always doing a scene. And I was really looking forward to, although I already had one scene planned out, I was really looking forward to observing and watching the other time.
Right.
So therefore, I chose a red. The way it worked was anybody with a green was not supposed to approach anybody with a red for play. But as a red, I could approach somebody with a green wristband and see if they wanted to play. So I was like, it's perfect.
Right.
I don't want to be asked tonight.
Yes, especially once you pull out your box or whatever,
right. So we made entry in. So they took us to a common area where there was pool tables, ping pong tables. They had a little cafeteria concession stand set up, drinks, snacks that you could purchase. And then this common area, you had to be street legal for dress wise. They didn't want any nudity, nothing see-through,
like the lingerie and stuff like that.
So if you was in the common area, it would be like you're walking down the street. They want you to be covered, nothing exposed. No type of play was allowed in the common area, which is fine, not a problem. Then they took us back at the other end from where you entered into the common area. On the other end of that was one of their play areas, and this was a really good sized room for a play area. They did have probably 5 to 6 stations set up for play. At the end of the room was a double-sided cross, which was great because that's what I enjoy is the cross. They did have 2 rope suspension rigs. They had mats laid out for just any other type of play that you wanted. They had 2 rows of seats sitting back to back so you could see one side of the room or the other. We went all the way to the end because one of our friends was getting set up for a whip scene. And of course, I was very interested in seeing a whip scene. We had seen one at Indiana Kink and Leather, and now this is my opportunity to watch another whip scene. So we went all the way to the end where the double crosses were because that's where they were setting up.
I wish I would have been able to see that because I want to see how different people do things.
It was definitely different. A lot of the technique was the same. A lot of the setup, everything was the same. It's just like Impact. You use the same implements. You can see where they're going with it, but it's 2 total different perspectives of it. So it was really cool. There was a lot of whip cracks that we heard that night, and it was.
I understand the recovery on that is
still
ongoing.
For their recovery now, and again. Our friend received a lot more marks during this whip scene than what we seen at Indiana Kink and Leather. There was a lot more whip to skin impact versus what we've seen. I think a lot of the last one was they wanted it to crack right at the edge of their skin. It wasn't actually making contact majority of the time.
Oh, I think it was making contact, but it was very light.
It was very light. This was a little more deeper of an impact with the whip. But again,
What kind of technique? The amount of precision you need in that tool is scary.
Yeah. And it's on my bucket list now. I want to get a whip. I want to get...
well, you have a couple of whip type implements.
Similar.
So that you could start with.
Yeah. But I want to get a whip and I want to get proficient with that because it does look fun. But a lot of time goes into it. So that's the other thing is finding time to set aside. So anyway, back to that night. It was very enjoyable for me to sit and watch this whip scene. And then, being able to look around. There was a couple that was there that we met in the common area that is new to the kink scene. Now, they're not new to kink, but they are new to the kink scene. So we got the opportunity to talk to them, got to know their likes and interests. And, of course, me love educating, talking about how we do things, talking about our podcast. They really seem to enjoy it. It was a great conversation. So meeting other like-minded people, mingling with them, interacting with them was wonderful Saturday night. It was a great opportunity to do that while watching these scenes take place.
Right.
I did see some wax play. So, and again, wax, we've seen wax done a million times. But it was still good to watch the person receiving the wax and how they reacted to the wax and moved with it. Then I set up for my scene, and apparently while pulling my Dom box through the common area and into the playroom, it apparently drew a little bit of a crowd with the extension cords coming out and all this. So one of the staff members came up and was like, everybody's just dying to know what you're going to pull out.
Right.
And then apparently after I pulled out the electric wand, they was all like, oh, okay, seen that before. And they disappeared. But anyway, we did do our scene with Mika,
right.
which was great. First time again for me actually doing an impact scene with her. I was a nervous wreck. First time not wanting to let them down, wanting to make sure they got out of what that they wanted to get out of it, but also not pushing too much, so there to me, there's like a real thin line that you have to follow for first time play like that.
And it's so much easier when it's somebody that you don't know at all, because you can take it very, very slow and just explain it. But if it's somebody that they'll push back and say, but no, that's not, I want more.
By knowing her and by seeing the impact scenes that has been done on her before, knowing what she can take is one thing. But for me, not wanting to take it that far the first time, it's rough. It is very tough. Again, I didn't want to let her down. I didn't want her leaving going, what a wuss, but I also
Who was that said bitch hands?
That was yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember. I don't remember what name we call her on here. But yeah, I didn't want Mika walking away going bitch hands, but then I also didn't want her using a safe word. I don't want her safe wording out first time,
Right.
I want the opportunity to learn her body, to learn her reactions, to find what really gets her going and where and when I can get her in the right headspace, so it was a lot of pressure
that night
on me.
And I wasn't there.
You wasn't there. So, apparently there is telltale signs with her and her toes, but I wasn't focused on her toes. I was focused on her face. And on the times that I couldn't see her face, I was looking at her queer platonic partner, Lilith. And Lilith would notice that I'm looking at her and I'm kind of giving a face like, how am I doing? And she'll either give a thumbs up or a thumbs down, So it was a lot for me. It was a lot of pressure. It was a lot of stress.
One of the things is this is a very real podcast, right? We're very real people, and you cannot be the only Dom that feels that way. So
I would hope not.
No. And because we're honest, just be aware that your Dom, there are Doms out there that would give a stoic face instead of acknowledging the fact that I'm nervous and I want to make sure I have a good performance for you. And just be aware that other doms feel this too, and they might not be as expressive as Master Nick.
You got to look at that. Again, I want many more opportunities with Mika.
Right.
I want to take that night and build on it. And then one day down the road, I want her in subspace. I want her to feel all of that. I knew it wasn't going to happen that night.
Right.
I was nowhere prepared for it to happen at night. And I even talked to her about it prior to. This is just an introduction. This is the first time I'm going to find out what you like, what you don't like. I had all my implements laid out. We'd done a negotiation before it started. Is there anything laid out here that is off the table? There was a few things she pointed out. I don't think I would like that. Perfect. We will not use that tonight.
I may make you use it later.
Right. We may want it later, but not tonight. So she went through all my implements and yes to this and yes to that. And I don't know how I feel about that. So on those implements that I was able to use that she wasn't sure how, I didn't even hardly use it hard at all.
You were just trying
just
to
a little
introduce
example of it. Here's kind of what it could feel like. But yes, for the respectful doms that enjoy teaching and enjoy demonstrating and showing, for first timers, people I've never met, not a problem.
Because you're not even going to take
I'm not even amping it up any.
Right.
But for those that you have seen in the past get impact used on them and you know what they can take, but you haven't done it, it's a huge stressor for me.
Right.
I wanted her walking away going, I really enjoyed that. I want to do that again.
Right.
So that was where she wanted marks at the end of it. I'm like, okay, so what do I have that can leave marks, but I knew I had to save that for the end. But yeah, all in all, I feel it went successful.
Okay.
It lasted several minutes. I think she got out of it what she wanted.
So country, several
minutes, which was a lot of minutes. She did get some marks. And I think, she has said she's ready for the second one. So all in all, went good. I did watch another kind of a light impact sensual play from another dom and their partner. And again, it was seeing different techniques. It's seeing how other people take the exact same implements that I have, but different ways of using them that you don't think about. And I really enjoyed just the setting and the observing and the watching. We did venture. They did have a second play area at this place, and we did venture there. Now, on the downside of this, in the play area, most people have on their lingerie, their see-through stuff. Some are naked. The biggest thing that sucked about it, to get from one play area to the other play area, is you had to walk through the common area.
Which means getting fully clothed again.
You're getting fully clothed to walk through the common area, to get on the elevator, to go downstairs into the second play area. We did venture down there because obviously I want to know what it looks like. It was a lot smaller of a room. There was several stations set up there. They did have the spanking benches there. They had like a post or something like for handcuffing somebody to. There was a few rooms. I know one room had a massage table. Another room had, pillows and blankets laid in there. But to me, it felt cramped.
Okay.
The minute I hit that area, I immediately knew I did not want to do a scene in this area. I take up a lot of room. For one, I've got a lot of implements. I take up a lot of real estate. For two, I've got a big arm swing.
Arm swing.
And I'm always worried about hitting somebody.
And it's happened.
And it's happened many times. I felt I would have hit a lot of people in this area if somebody just came.
So it was
close.
Narrow.
It was
close
narrow,
quarters.
You
said it had a little bit lower ceiling.
It definitely had a lower ceiling, so I couldn't swing overhead. I would have to change my swing altogether. But yes, for Mika, she wanted a spanking bench. And the spanking bench was downstairs. So we went downstairs to look it out. I instantly thought to myself, no, I don't want to do it. Luckily for me, Mika was like, not down here. We'll do it on the cross. So that was a huge relief for me. But there was plenty of more areas. there was several people down there that was playing. We didn't stick around very long because it wasn't for me. It wasn't the right atmosphere. Too close quarters. I like to be kind of spread out a little bit. So then we went back up. We spent the rest of our night in the main play area. Watched, I think there was like a pet play scene that took place as well. There was a couple of pets and they were just kind of wrestling and playing with each other. Again, I was at the opposite end of the room. Don't know what the scene consisted of, but it was entertaining to watch and to see people interact and play and what made them happy.
Right.
So it was a good night.
Yeah. And then you got the message from me that said, hey, I feel like I just heard a very loud bang in the house. Yeah. I lost we subsequently, after much frustration and concern, he's reviewing our video camera.
Yeah.
I mean, I interfered. Thankfully, it was pretty late at night, but I interfered with the night because I was very concerned. Come to find out, it was a can of biscuits that I threw away that I didn't pop. I should have popped it because it popped in the middle of the night, scaring me to death.
Yep. So for those of you listening at home, if you ever decide to throw away a can of biscuits, go ahead and take the time. Pop them open.
Because it scared him too. The noise sounded like a gunshot because it was that close, that loud. Not like a gunshot in my house, but there was nobody here. And all of a sudden I'm like terrified in my chair.
And you could not hear the sound on our outside cameras.
Right.
Only one camera on the inside of the house. What
is the explanation for a very loud pop?
So 2-3 o'clock in the morning, we're still walking around the house trying to figure out what made that noise.
We subsequently sat down and I have no idea why it hit my head, but I'm like, it was a can of biscuits.
Look in that garbage can. Is there a can of biscuits that's popped in there? And sure enough, the whole end of it blew off.
Okay. So I just wanted you to know that I interfered with his pleasurable night because of my own irrational fear of a very loud noise.
But anyway, all in all, Kinktasia 2025
was successful.
It was successful. We enjoyed it. We did. There was the plus sides. There was the negative sides. But I feel it went over very well. We learned ourselves, again, like you said earlier, it's probably best for us not to be a vendor at events like this.
Even though we met really great people.
Yeah, we did. But if there is 2 days of the opportunity for vending, one day we vend, the next day we attend. Whereas this was only one night for the vendors.
But I think even at like
Indiana,
they still want you to be there.
They want you there the whole time. But if we could work out where we're there half the time,
since we're not actually a vendor of supplies, of product as much as we are of experience.
So, maybe work out half a day we do it. But again, not being able to attend and not being able to walk around and venture out, it did sway our opinion more than the year before. So
the year before we could not. There was always something new.
Yes.
Every time we walked through the venue, we found something new that we had to do, and that felt like it was missing this time because it was so dark.
Yep.
And separated.
Right.
So that was done at Art Sanctuary, the carnival part of it, and they're losing their location, the
lease and location.
So they're in the process of negotiating with a new, and I understand the last Vava Vixens is going to be done their like March time frame. They're advertising it now, so get on board, buy tickets, support them in any way you can. It's for the artists, and it's really a nonprofit, very important thing. The venue itself was perfectly good. Yeah. We don't have a problem. So sadly that, I'm sure there'll be continued interaction with Art Sanctuary's new place, because again, these are performance, there's performers and everybody's actively involved.
So, going back to you, our listeners, was you at Kinktasia 2025? What was your thoughts?
Yes.
What were the pros and the cons that you've seen? We are interested in hearing. We would be more than happy to transfer that information to LNK. I'm sure they're going to do a survey again.
They did. They've sent out
They've
surveys.
sent out surveys. So take the survey, give your feedback, give your honest feedback. They took the feedback from last year, they listened, and they implemented as much as they could.
Yeah, because they got the second day played.
They got the second day. So be honest on your feedbacks. Don't be rude, don't be hateful, but give honest, constructive criticism to them. And hopefully they listen. Take that into consideration for next year. And again, we're interested. Are we the only ones that feel the way that we do? We want to know your feelings as well. Was we on the right track? Are we way off? Everybody's entitled to their opinion. We're interested in it.
Yes.
So until next time, see you all next weekend.
Please follow, like, and share our podcast.
Make sure to visit thedomlife.com, where you can find pictures and other details about the Dom Life podcast. And through the Contact Us button, you can ask questions or provide recommendations for future episodes.
We want to explore your kink too.
Be sure to check out upcoming events to see where our adventures are taking us and our photo gallery to where we've been.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope you had fun listening and learning with us.
Till next time, keep calm and remember your safe word.
Red, red, red.